Over 1.4 billion computers worldwide run Windows, and right now, Microsoft is pushing an update to Windows 11 that has triggered one of the most intense user revolts in the company's 50-year history. On November 10th, 2025, Microsoft's Windows chief posted a single sentence about the future of the operating system. Within hours, the post exploded with over 1 million views and hundreds of furious comments. The backlash was so severe that Microsoft's executive was forced to lock replies after days of relentless criticism. Even Microsoft's own engineers are now publicly pushing back against the company's direction. One top distinguished engineer posted claims so controversial that Microsoft's communications chief had to issue an emergency denial. This isn't about a single buggy feature. This is about Microsoft fundamentally changing what Windows does and who it serves. And the company just admitted that core parts of Windows 11 have been broken for months, while they focused on something entirely different. In October 2021, Microsoft released Windows 11 with promises of a reimagined operating system, sleeker design, better performance, and enhanced security with TPM 2.0 requirements. The marketing materials showed a clean, modern interface. The launch videos emphasized speed and reliability. Microsoft positioned Windows 11 as the future of personal computing. The adoption was slow, far slower than Windows 10. It took Windows 11 2 full years to reach 400 million devices, while Windows 10 hit that milestone in just over a year. By July 2025, Windows 11 finally overtook Windows 10 with 52% market share, but that lead has barely grown since. As of November 2025, Windows 11 sits at just 53.7%, while Windows 10, which lost support in October 2025, still holds 42.7%. Think about that for a moment. Windows 10 officially lost mainstream support. Microsoft stopped providing free security updates for home users. Yet nearly half of all Windows users are still clinging to an unsupported operating system rather than upgrade to the latest version. Millions of users are actively refusing to upgrade despite end-of-support warnings, security risks, and Microsoft's aggressive push notifications. Why? Because Microsoft has spent the last year transforming Windows 11 into something users never asked for. The AI invasion nobody wanted. In 2024 and 2025, Microsoft launched a series of AI integrations across Windows 11. It started small. Copilot appeared as a sidebar feature, offering helpful suggestions and quick answers. Users could ignore it if they wanted. But Microsoft didn't stop there. Copilot was embedded into Paint, turning the simple drawing application into an AI-powered image generator. It appeared in Notepad, the plain text editor that had remained essentially unchanged for decades. It infiltrated File Explorer, offering AI-powered search and file organization. Nearly every core Windows application received AI integrations, whether users wanted them or not. Then came Recall, the controversial AI screenshot feature that captured everything on your screen, every document you opened, every website you visited, every private message you typed. Recall took snapshots every few seconds, building a searchable database of your entire digital life. The stated purpose was to help you find things you'd seen before. The reality triggered massive privacy backlash. Security researchers immediately identified vulnerabilities. Your Recall database sat on your hard drive in a format that malware could easily access. Anyone who gained access to your computer could see everything you'd done for months. Passwords you'd typed, banking information you'd viewed, private conversations you'd had, all captured, stored, and searchable. Microsoft initially defended Recall as an optional feature, but the damage was done. Users realized that Microsoft was willing to implement invasive surveillance technology without adequately considering security implications. The company eventually scaled back Recall, making it opt-in only and adding encryption. But trust had evaporated. Microsoft kept pushing more AI, more cloud integration, and more features that required internet connectivity and Microsoft accounts. Each update brought new AI-powered capabilities that users didn't ask for. Each patch embedded Microsoft's cloud services deeper into the operating system. Each new feature required you to send more data to Microsoft's servers. Then, on November 10, 2025, Windows President Pavan Davuluri posted this on X. Windows is evolving into an agentic OS connecting devices, cloud, and AI to unlock intelligent productivity and secure work anywhere. Read that sentence again. An agentic OS, not a faster OS, not a more stable OS, not an OS with better battery life or improved security. An agentic OS. What does that even mean? An agentic OS means Windows becomes a platform where AI agents run autonomously. Instead of you running applications, AI agents run them for you. They plan your travel, scanning your calendar and email to determine when you need flights. They book restaurants, analyzing your location data and dining preferences to make reservations. They make purchases using your money, all coordinated by an orchestration layer built into the operating system. Microsoft wants Windows to stop being just a place to run apps and become a place where agents control the apps for you. Your computer would no longer be a tool you use. It would be an autonomous system that makes decisions on your behalf, spending your money, accessing your accounts, and taking actions without explicit approval for each step. The response was immediate and brutal. "Stop this nonsense. No one wants this," read one reply with thousands of likes. "Bro, straight up, nobody wants this," said another. "Fix the damn taskbar before you add more AI garbage," demanded a third. "Every update makes Windows worse. Just stop," pleaded a frustrated user. The post quickly accumulated over 1 million views and hundreds of critical comments. Microsoft's social media team watched in real time as the backlash spiraled out of control. Unlike typical corporate posts that generate polite discussion or mild disagreement, Davuluri's announcement triggered genuine anger. Nearly all of the comments said the same thing. "Fix the basics first. Stop forcing AI on us." The ratio was devastating. For every supportive comment, there were dozens of harsh criticisms. Tech journalists began covering the backlash. Reddit threads dissecting the announcement climbed to the top of technology subreddits. YouTube videos analyzing Microsoft's disconnect from user needs racked up hundreds of thousands of views. After days of relentless criticism, Microsoft took an unusual step. The replies were locked, no more comments allowed. The damage was contained, but the message was clear. Microsoft's vision for Windows 11's future had been overwhelmingly rejected by the very people who use the operating system every day. What users actually want. Veteran Windows users and developers pointed to recurring problems that have plagued Windows 11 for years. These aren't minor annoyances. These are fundamental issues that affect daily productivity. Inconsistent UI elements scattered across the operating system. Open the control panel and you'll see design elements from Windows 7. Open Settings and you'll see the modern Windows 11 interface. Open certain system dialogues and you'll see UI elements from Windows XP. Microsoft has spent years adding new interfaces without removing old ones, creating a Frankenstein operating system where different parts look like they belong to different decades. Performance drops after updates. Users report that their systems run smoothly until a monthly cumulative update arrives. Then suddenly, boot times increase. Applications take longer to launch. File operations slow down. What was a responsive system becomes sluggish and frustrating. Microsoft releases fixes in subsequent patches, but by then, another update has introduced new performance issues. Annoying taskbar behavior that requires more clicks than Windows 10. In Windows 10, right-clicking the taskbar gave you quick access to Task Manager and system settings. Windows 11 removed that functionality. Users now need to navigate through additional menus to access tools they use constantly. The taskbar can no longer be moved to the sides or top of the screen. Icons can't be ungrouped. Features that power users relied on for years simply vanished. Unfinished features like small taskbar icons that still don't work properly years after release. Microsoft announced smaller taskbar icons as a coming feature in 2022. It's now 2026, and the feature still doesn't work correctly. Icons resize inconsistently. Spacing looks wrong. System tray icons don't scale properly. This is emblematic of Microsoft's approach. Announce features, ship them half-finished, then forget about them while moving on to the next AI integration. Growing instability with each AI-driven update. Every time Microsoft adds new AI capabilities, system stability takes a hit. Features that worked fine suddenly break. Established workflows stop functioning. Users spend hours troubleshooting issues that didn't exist before the update. And when they search for solutions, they find forums filled with other users experiencing identical problems. One user on Microsoft's own Q&A forum wrote, "Windows 11 is awful, and I will be going back to Windows 10. It runs absolutely unnecessary background processes. There are ads all over. Unwanted news feeds. With 16 GB of RAM, I have to close Teams just to open MS Word. This is by far the worst version of Windows I've ever used, and I've been using Windows since 3.1. Another developer stated, "I have 2 dev workstations at home running Win 10. Recently at work, I got a laptop with Win 11. It is a complete disaster, and Microsoft must enter a state of emergency. Nothing works as expected. The UI is inconsistent. Performance is terrible. I spend more time fighting the OS than writing code." Prominent tech commentator Gergely Orosz echoed the frustration, saying, "Windows no longer feels like a developer-friendly platform. Microsoft is pushing builders toward macOS or Linux. I never thought I'd see the day when developers actively avoid Windows, but here we are." The silent crisis. 5 months of broken core features. Now, you might think this is just a vocal minority complaining online, while most users are fine. Maybe these are edge cases. Maybe most people are using Windows 11 without major issues. That assumption would be wrong. While Microsoft was busy integrating AI features and planning an agentic future, core parts of Windows 11 were quietly breaking. On November 21, 2025, Microsoft published a support article with a stunning admission. Core components of Windows 11, the Start menu, Taskbar, File Explorer, and System Settings, have been malfunctioning since July 2025. Read that again. 5 months of broken fundamental features, not experimental features, not optional AI tools. The Start menu, the Taskbar, File Explorer, System Settings, the absolute basics of what makes an operating system functional. The problems trace back to faulty cumulative updates that affected XAML components, the framework Windows uses to build user interfaces. XML is the foundation for how Windows displays menus, buttons, and interactive elements. When XML breaks, everything breaks. Users reported unresponsive start menus that took 30 seconds to open or didn't open at all. Taskbars that vanished after updates, leaving users with no way to launch applications. Sluggish File Explorer navigation, where opening folders took 10 seconds instead of being instant. Erratic system settings behavior, where clicking options did nothing or crashed the settings app entirely. What began as scattered complaints on forums was finally validated by Microsoft in late November. The issues are widespread, tied directly to monthly security patches, and have persisted for months while the company prioritized AI integrations. Microsoft's own support documentation now acknowledges that patches released in July, August, September, and October 2025 all contained bugs that degraded core functionality. Think about that timeline. In July, the bugs were introduced. By August, forums were filled with complaints. In September, the problems worsened with new updates. In October, users were screaming for fixes. And Microsoft didn't officially acknowledge the issues until November. 5 months where the people running Windows 11 couldn't reliably use the most basic features of their operating system. While Rome burned, Microsoft tweeted about AI. While Microsoft executives were tweeting about agentic operating systems and AI-powered futures, millions of users couldn't reliably open the Start menu. Let that sink in. The Start menu, the feature that has defined Windows since Windows 95, was broken for 5 months while the company's leadership was publicly discussing autonomous AI agents. Imagine you're a small business owner. You run a marketing agency with 10 employees. Everyone uses Windows 11 because that's what came pre-installed on your Dell workstations. One morning, you sit down to start work and press the Windows key to open the Start menu. Nothing happens. You click the Start button, nothing. You restart your computer. The Start menu opens, but it takes 45 seconds. You have a client presentation in an hour. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. This is what thousands of Windows 11 users experienced from July to November 2025, while Microsoft focused on AI instead of fixing broken fundamentals. The root cause? Microsoft accelerated its release cycle to keep pace with competitors like Apple's Mac OS. Apple ships major OS updates annually with extensive beta testing periods. Microsoft wanted to match that pace while also shipping monthly security updates and adding constant new features. The result was insufficient beta testing, features ship broken, updates introduce new problems, and by the time Microsoft acknowledges it, users have suffered through months of instability. One tech site put it bluntly: Microsoft admits almost all major Windows 11 core features are broken. That's not clickbait. That's an accurate summary of Microsoft's own support documentation. The Start menu, Taskbar, File Explorer, and Settings, the four most essential components of the Windows interface, were all confirmed to be malfunctioning due to buggy updates. This is what happens when a company stops listening to what users actually need. Microsoft became so focused on competing with Apple Intelligence and Google's AI features that it forgot the fundamental purpose of an operating system: to reliably run applications and manage files. Everything else is secondary. An OS can be boring and functional, or it can be exciting and broken. Microsoft chose broken. The executive response: too little, too late. The backlash reached such intensity that on November 15th, Pavan Davuluri was forced to respond. He posted a follow-up thread on X, attempting to address the criticism. "I've read through the comments and see a focus on things like reliability, performance, ease of use, and more," he wrote. "We balance what we see in our product feedback systems with what we hear directly. Both are important." He acknowledged that Microsoft has a lot of work to do and expressed regret for falling short of user expectations. He promised the team is actively addressing feedback on stability, performance, and user experience. The tone was apologetic, the language was diplomatic, and the response was fundamentally inadequate. But here's the critical part that most people missed: Microsoft isn't backing away from AI. In the same response, Davuluri made clear that Microsoft still believes in the Agentic OS vision. They're not stopping the AI integrations. They're not pausing development to focus solely on fixing core features. They're just promising to also fix the basics while continuing to push forward with autonomous AI agents. Read between the lines. We'll fix the Start menu, but we're still building the Agentic OS. That's the actual message. Microsoft heard the criticism, acknowledged the problems, and decided to keep doing exactly what users are angry about. The problem? Current AI agents are slow, error-prone, and unpredictable. They're not ready to perform actually useful tasks. Have you tried using AI to book a flight? It might give you options, but you still need to verify everything, compare prices manually, and complete the booking yourself. Have you tried using AI to plan a complex project? It can outline tasks, but it can't understand context, make judgment calls, or handle unexpected changes. AI agents today are approximately as useful as Clippy was in 1997. Remember Clippy, the animated paperclip that popped up in Microsoft Office asking, "It looks like you're writing a letter. Would you like help?" Everyone hated Clippy. Microsoft eventually removed it. Now, they want to rebuild the entire operating system around Clippy's great-grandchildren. Yet, Microsoft is rebuilding Windows around AI agents anyway. They're betting the future of the world's most widely used desktop operating system on technology that doesn't reliably work yet. For many users, Davuluri's response wasn't reassurance. It was confirmation that Microsoft has lost sight of what an operating system should do. The internal rebellion. Engineers speak out. Then, in December 2025, Microsoft's internal tensions spilled into public view. Galen Hunt, a distinguished engineer at Microsoft, posted on LinkedIn with extraordinary claims. "My goal is to eliminate every line of C and C++ from Microsoft by 2030, he wrote. "Our strategy is to combine AI and algorithms to rewrite Microsoft's largest code bases. Our North Star is one engineer, 1 month, 1 million lines of code." Let that sink in. A senior Microsoft engineer publicly stated that the company plans to use AI to rewrite the entire Windows code base. Windows contains over 50 million lines of code accumulated over 30 years. Hunt was suggesting that AI could rewrite that in 50 months with a single engineer. The claim defied basic logic. The post repeatedly used "our," making it sound like an official Microsoft plan. "Our strategy," "our North Star," "our team goal." Hunt wasn't presenting this as a personal research interest. He was framing it as a coordinated company initiative with specific targets and deadlines. The tech community erupted. Are they seriously planning to use AI to rewrite Windows' entire codebase? The codebase that runs critical infrastructure, financial systems, and medical equipment? The codebase that has been meticulously debugged and security hardened over decades? They want to feed that into an AI and hope it spits out something better? Security researchers immediately sounded alarms. AI-generated code has well-documented problems. It often contains security vulnerabilities because the AI doesn't understand security principles. It just pattern matches code it has seen before. It produces subtle bugs that only appear under specific conditions. It generates code that works in testing but fails in production under real-world load. Within hours, Frank X. Shaw, Microsoft's top communications executive, issued a denial. Microsoft has no plans to rewrite Windows 11 using AI, he told media outlets. Hunt's post was about a small research effort, not company-wide policy. Shaw emphasized that this was exploratory work, not a strategic initiative, and not representative of any timeline or goals for Windows development. But the damage was done. Even after Hunt edited his post to clarify that he was describing research goals rather than immediate plans, the language still referenced one engineer, 1 month, 1 million lines of code as a team goal. The original wording had made it sound far broader than a research project, and the edited version didn't fully walk back the implications. Users were left wondering, if even Microsoft's own engineers are making unauthorized claims about the company's AI plans, what's actually happening inside the company? Is there internal disagreement about the agentic OS direction? Are engineers being pressured to use AI for everything, even when it doesn't make sense? Is Microsoft's leadership losing control of its own messaging? The Hunt incident revealed deep fractures. Microsoft's public messaging says one thing, but engineers are posting contradictory information. Leadership issues emergency denials, but the denials raise more questions than they answer. The company appears confused about its own direction, with different divisions and individuals pushing conflicting visions for Windows' future. The privacy apocalypse forced Microsoft accounts. Meanwhile, Microsoft quietly made another controversial change that further eroded user trust. In October 2025, the company removed the ability to set up Windows 11 with a local account during installation. Previously, you could skip creating a Microsoft account and use a simple local account that existed only on your computer. That option vanished. Now, you must create or sign in with a Microsoft account, requiring internet connectivity and sending your data to Microsoft's cloud. During installation, Windows 11 checks for internet access. If you're not connected, the setup process refuses to continue. Connect to Wi-Fi or plug in Ethernet. It demands. No internet, no Windows. Once connected, you must either sign in to an existing Microsoft account or create a new one. Your email address, your phone number for verification. Your personal information transmitted to Microsoft servers before you can even finish installing the operating system you purchased. This follows a clear pattern. Recall required cloud connectivity to store and sync your screenshot database. Copilot integrations require internet to process your requests on Microsoft's servers. AI features require Microsoft accounts to function. Every edition pushes users toward Microsoft's cloud services. Why does this matter? Because a local account means your data stays on your computer. Your files, your settings, your usage patterns, they exist on your hardware under your control. A Microsoft account means your data syncs to Microsoft's cloud. Your file access patterns, your application usage, your search queries, everything flows through Microsoft's servers where it can be analyzed, aggregated, and used to train AI models. Microsoft claims this improves security and enables useful features like syncing settings across devices. But users didn't ask to have that choice removed. Advanced users who understand the privacy implications are now forced to either accept Microsoft's terms or use workarounds. During installation, you can disconnect the internet after the initial check, then create a local account. But Microsoft intentionally made this process unintuitive and undocumented. The criticism isn't just from casual users. It's coming from longtime power users and developers who have relied on Windows for decades. IT administrators in corporate environments are particularly frustrated because enterprise deployments often use local accounts for security reasons, and Microsoft's change complicates their standardized imaging processes. The trust that can't be rebuilt. After months of criticism, Microsoft promised improvements. Davuluri said the team would focus on reliability, performance, and UI consistency. Microsoft published fixes for the XAML component issues in upcoming patches. The December 2025 Patch Tuesday included multiple stability fixes. The January 2026 update promised further improvements, but fundamental problems remain. Microsoft hasn't changed course on the Agentic OS vision. The roadmap still includes expanding AI agent capabilities throughout 2026. AI features continue to ship faster than quality control can keep up. The December update fixed XAML bugs, but introduced new issues with network drive mapping. The January update improved start menu responsiveness, but broke printer drivers for some users. The company still requires Microsoft accounts for installation, still pushes cloud connectivity, still integrates Copilot into every corner of the OS. Each promise to focus on fundamentals is followed by announcements of new AI features. The pattern is consistent. Apologize for current problems. Promise to do better, then immediately announce the next AI integration that will introduce new problems. And the trust is gone. That's the real crisis Microsoft faces. When users spend 5 months unable to rely on basic features while the company tweets about AI futures, that trust doesn't rebuild easily. Trust is built slowly through consistent delivery and destroyed instantly through betrayal. Microsoft betrayed users' trust by prioritizing experimental features over core functionality. As one user put it, Microsoft is prioritizing AI experiments over reliability and developer needs. That's not hyperbole. That's an accurate description of Microsoft's actions over the past 18 months. The company has explicitly chosen to pursue an Agentic OS vision despite clear evidence that users don't want it and the technology isn't ready. So here's what I need you to do. Pick one. Option 1. If you use Windows 11, open Settings right now. Go to Privacy and Security, then Diagnostics and Feedback, and set it to Required Diagnostic Data Only. It takes 20 seconds. Do it before you close this tab. Option 2. If you're not on Windows or already did that, share this article with someone who uses Windows 11 and has no idea any of this is happening. Most people have never heard about the Agentic OS controversy or the broken core features. Then comment below which option you chose. I want to see how many people actually take action versus how many just read and forget. The next investigation covers how Google's AI analyzes your YouTube watch history to build psychological profiles, even in incognito mode. You won't want to miss it.